Canon 31, the Book of Enoch Henok, the Book of Remembrance verses 108 to 170, History of the Extraterrestrials.
This video features a translated version of the original German text. Please be aware that the translation may contain inaccuracies, as it is one of the earlier versions of the Onfalon Mirado. A more updated version includes additional context and clarification for many of the words used. For a deeper understanding of the content, it's strongly recommended to refer to the original German text and review each term individually. This will help ensure a clearer grasp of what is being conveyed.
And man created from out of his earth, from the minutest life of plants and animals, but therefore not in commonality with an animal or with plants, hence of his own kind and species. And it happened in those days, after the people of earth had multiplied, that the sons and daughters of the heavens came to earth, who were the travellers from afar from the depths of the universe. Mankind in those days was still wild and unruly, yet they possessed beauty to a great extent, the women as also the men. And the sons and daughters of the heavens saw the beauty of mankind of earth. Therefore they lusted for them, and they counseled among themselves, and said,
Well then, we will select husbands and wives for us from among mankind of this world, and with them procreate descendants, and found our own nations.
But this doing was against the regulation of the Ish-Wish, who was the highest leader of the travellers from afar, from the depths of the universe. And the highest leader, the Ish-Wish, had sub-leaders who were his representatives among the sons and daughters of the heavens, who were like watchers and called watcher angels. But among them was Semjasa, the highest leader of the sub-leaders, who was responsible to the Ish-Wish, and therefore he spoke to the sons and daughters of the heavens when he became aware of the intent of theirs.
Well, I see you are not willing to carry out your deed and to shoulder the threatening punishment for it. For you know very well that such doing is forbidden by the Ish-Wish. Therefore I alone would have to endure the punishment.
But all answered and said,
All of us will do an oath of alliance and obligate ourselves among each other thereby, not to abandon our intent and to carry this out and to keep silence about it, that the Ish-Wish does not learn about it.
Therefore they all swore and obligated themselves among each other, and forthwith they departed secretly at a number of 200, and flew with one singing light to the peak of a mountain. And as they had landed on the peak of the mountain, they swore a second time the oath of the Dark Covenant, and they also called the mountain of the oath in their language Arges, which means Oath Mountain. And among the 200, the highest of the sub-leaders was Semjasa, and thus among all of them were also lower sub-leaders, who were called by name Andanj, Ezekiel, Darnel, Urachbaramiel, Ajsa, Lunera, Akshbeel, Tamjela, Tamjel, Ramuela, Asaela, Asael, Batraala, Armas, Sarakajal, Arazjal, Turela, Jomael, Sartael, Satanon, Samsafel, Satana, Zakabel, Largsa, and Tergel. Therefore, the daughters and sons of the heavens took for themselves husbands and wives from mankind of earth. And the daughters selected a husband for themselves, and every son selected a wife for himself. And then they began to go into them in undisciplined mixing. And the sons and daughters of the heavens taught their unjustly taken human beings of earth in all types of handicrafts and of thinking. And they made them familiar with the cutting of roots and diverse fruits and plants, and also with wood. But the time came when the women of the human beings of earth became pregnant from the sons of the heavens, and also were impregnated the daughters of the heavens by the men of mankind of earth. But it happened that the human beings of earth were of a different type than the sons and daughters of the heavens, therefore they gave birth to offspring who were different than they. And they gave birth to offspring who grew up fast and were taller than mankind of earth, and also taller than the sons and daughters of the heavens. For the offspring grew up to giants, who measured in height 33 feet, which is 30 ells. But of the descendants were many, and after a few generations they grew to a large nation. And the new nation increased, and it also was wild and unruly like mankind of earth, from whom they all had descended. And as the new nation was great in number of people, and they also were big eaters, they consumed all the provisions of mankind of earth, and soon a nationwide starvation ensued. But the starvation became greater, so the human beings soon were not able to nourish the giants any more. Then the giants turned against mankind of earth, and also against the sons and daughters of the heavens, from whom they had descended. And the giants declared war against mankind of earth, and the daughters and sons of the heavens, and took them prisoner, butchered and devoured them. But many human beings of earth, and also many sons and daughters of the heavens, fled and were seen no more, and not pursued by the giants any longer, who steadily grew in malice and increased in savagery. And when the giants could not find the human beings of earth, and the sons and daughters of the heavens any more, they began to disgrace all animals which moved. They also slept with the animals, the birds, the land animals, and the fish of the waters also, but they also killed them and devoured them among themselves. So they had nourishment of the flesh and also drank the blood. So thereby the evil was created on earth, unrighteousness and war, lying and bloodshed, and all other evil, which exists among the human beings of earth. But the giants lived a long time on earth before they fell into infertility and died out. Mankind of earth had escaped into distant lands, and with them were the sons and daughters of the heavens. But they were all caught in the event which was caused by the giants, who were their descendants and descendants of the descendants. And henceforth the sons and daughters of the heavens and the human beings of earth lived together, and thus they were like the giants, namely evil and characterized by all evil. Thus they also lived wild like the rushing of the wind, and also degenerated like the mighty roaring of the storm. Wherefore it is said that they lived riotously, in rushing and roaring. But as they lived in this manner among themselves, they behaved also to others who were strangers to them. So they seduced them to do evil, and also warred against them. But at the time of their trespass, the sons and daughters of the heavens were banished by the Ishwish and his people. So they could not return to their own kind. Wherefore they remained among mankind of earth, among whom they lived longer in age than these, because their time of a completed life was 2,000 years. And mankind of earth was instructed by the sons and daughters of the heavens in all types of handicrafts and in many other things, as also in good and in evil. But the grasping of evil was always greater, so that it spread, as it was borne by the giants, which were procreated in prohibition. Therefore the human beings of earth learned from the sons and daughters of the heavens, and they also were teachable students. And Asasel taught the human beings to forge swords, and also knives and coats of mail and shields for warfare and for daily use. But he also taught the human beings to fight and to fence for life, but likewise also the handicraft of the art of jewelry. So he created jewelry for the decoration of the body, and also cosmetics for the same purpose. And he taught the women in the wearing of arm bracelets, the beautifying of the eyebrows, and the wearing and putting on of most costly and selected precious stones. And he also taught the human beings in the manufacture of all dyes, and the finding of ores, and the smelting and forging of the metals of the earth. And verily, soon there was great unrighteousness and whoredom on earth, because all people were corrupted and lived in erroneous teachings, and to their own advantage. And much teaching of truth and much error teaching was spread, which stemmed in correctness or incorrectness from the travellers from afar, from the depths of the universe, and from mankind of earth, who had lapsed into evil due to the evil doings of the giants. Temela taught the art of stargazing. Kakabel taught to interpret the signs of nature. Azradal taught about the course of the moon. Amazarak taught the conjuration of the dead and also the art of therapeutics from roots. Barakala taught the art of astrology, and Caranus taught the laws and commandments of creation. But man was corrupt as they walked wrong ways and did not want to strive for truth, but which was seen and heard by Tekla, the daughter of Gabriel, who was the highest commander over the armies of the Ishwish, and also a traveller from afar, son of the heavens, from the depths of the universe. And Tekla observed all events on earth, while she flew over the land in the singing light, for she was to observe what was happening among mankind on the earth, and also what was being done and shown as a result of the banished sons and daughters of the heavens. But there was only injustice, bloodshed, whoredom, horror, and evil of every type which was observed. Therefore Tekla rendered clarification to her father, Gabriel, about everything seen and heard and observed. And the highest commander, Gabriel, fell into horror and also made his report to the Ishwish about what he had heard, who fell into deep concern and also commissioned his highest commander, and also the sub-leaders, Mikal, Urjana, and Surjana, that they should obtain clarification another time and according to his order. Therefore, the highest leader, Gabriel, and the sub-leaders, Mikal, Urjana, and Surjana climbed into their singing lights and flew over the lands of the earth. And they also gazed down from heaven and saw much blood which was being shed on earth, and they also saw all the unrighteousness among the people on the earth. And when they saw all the evil, they were much horrified and spoke among themselves, "We have to report to the Ishwish what we have seen of all the evil abominations." Therefore they stepped before the Ishwish and said,
What we have seen are greater abominations than human beings can do, for the voices of their cries and their misdeeds echo throughout the earth up to the portals of heaven. Only few righteous remain, who implore heaven and wail and beg that justice shall be produced for them, no matter who would ever bring this justice to them.
And they also said to the Ishwish,
The people beseech creation with words of prayers and of fainting, and thus, Creation, thou art the creation of all creation. Thou which art King's power on the throne of glory and existing throughout all generations of all worlds, thy glorious name be hallowed and praised throughout all generations of all worlds. Creation, thou alone hast made everything, and thy control over everything is with thee. Therefore everything is disclosed and revealed unto thee, as thou seest everything, and nothing may remain hidden unto thee. Yet why dost thou not help us, and why dost thou not rescue us?
So therefore they reported to the Ishwish and said that the few righteous hoped for help from creation, and the people have come to believe that creation were a king with armies and warriors, who should fight with the sword against all evil. And they also told the Ishwish that Semjasa had become the highest leader of the evil ones, and also the main leader of the error teaching of all evil. But they also reported that Asasel taught all unrighteousness among the people of earth, and also had betrayed great secrets of the travelers from afar, from the depths of the universe. But they also reported to the Ishwish that the lands were full with blood and whoredom and unrighteousness on the earth, and that the few righteous are not able to escape from all evil. And the Ishwish was shocked, and said that soon there would be an end among the unrighteous of earth, because such doings could only be pursued so long until man would lapse into destruction and destroy everything, so that they only had to wait until such time. Therefore, everything happened according to his statement, while the people of earth fell into warring, the companions and people of Semjasa on one side, and Asasel and his companions and people on the other side. But Semjasa and Asasel were knowledgeable of the manufacture of death suns from the minerals of life. Therefore they betrayed these secrets and built death suns, which secretly they hid in the cities of the others, to destroy and burn these in evil death embers. but the city of Semjasa was Solomon, and the city of Asasel was Turas. And thus death's suns glaringly ignited within these, made by the hand of man and everyone at its time, thus in Somon at the rising of the sun, and in Turas as the sun stood at its highest peak. And not one stone remained upon another, and also no life remained far and near, for everything turned to ashes in the sun embers. Therefore the prophecy of the Ishwish fulfilled itself, and thus all evil in the two cities of damnation was eradicated by the guilty ones themselves. Therefore be instructed thereof, mankind, that such may teach you, so you walk the way of righteousness.